welcome back to the podcast, to Into the Grove. I'm Ace.
I'm Tori.
Augusto.
It's just Augusto.
They're just
Yeah,
a gusto.
Yeah.
But
Reading
anyways,
a book.
this week we are talking about Gravity Falls, and that is actually a really, really fortunate timing for this topic to be rolled because of the Book of Bill has just been.
I have it.
People just gotten it, and yeah, that one has it.
I'm reading it right now.
And we have actually all watched Gravity Falls at one point in our lives, so luckily we do know stuff.
Yeah. Me and Tori, we did not rewatch it, so this is gonna be from our first watches.
Yeah, I haven't
watched it more of a recent watch. Because I did not watch it when it was coming out. I did not watch it when it was coming out.
I think I maybe watched. So I started watching the show a bit after it had come out. But I do think I watched like the finale episodes like a couple days after they had like first gone out. I had them back when we had cable. I had it set up to record any episode of like Gravity Falls that came on so I could watch them all, but I definitely didn't watch them in order. Which, to be fair, for a majority of the show, you didn't have to. Up until like the lore relevant stuff started happening.
Yeah, like
the plot
sometime
stuff.
in the second season, I think.
Yeah, like there were little teasers in the first season of like, ooh, what's with the vending? Why is he going behind the vending machine? What's behind the vending machine? But
yeah.
Also, this episode is gonna have spoilers for Gravity Falls, so if you have not watched it and you plan to watch it, this may not be the one for you to watch right now.
Yeah, and my question to you is, how have you not watched it yet if you're watching this? Because the show has been out for a long time. Show has been out longer than some of the shows that we may talk about. This is so. What you doing? What you doing watching this? Go watch it.
Yeah. So while I haven't like rewatched the show recently, I did watch not maybe like a couple of months ago a like YouTube video just recapping and kind of ranking every episode. So I kind of have a gist of some of the episodes again. There's some episodes that I saw in there that I just barely even remember watching. Like there is a whole one with like them singing karaoke and zombies, and I don't remember that episode.
I remember that episode very vividly because when it was airing, that episode actually got me so scared I stopped watching the show for a while. I was a child.
And then like I kind of remember the episode with the merman, but not that much. I think I just didn't like that episode that much, so I don't really.
Mermando was it
okay. I think so. And then I remember the episode where like Dipper was questioning his manliness and like went and like defeated a bear, but they were singing like the Baba song.
Oh, there's the one I just recently watched where they were like in a convenience store.
Yes, that's my favorite episode, actually. I really like that episode.
People gets possessed, right?
Yep.
Where Dipper gets possessed, Mabel's in Candyland.
No,
that's the one I'm referencing. Yeah, Dipper doesn't get possessed. He has to do the
everybody else does. Yeah.
Everybody else gets
possessed or
evaporated.
Trapped. Yeah. Oh no, Mabel does get
cheap dance to get everyone free.
I do like that episode. That one's a good one.
That was fun. That was a fun episode. I'm gonna definitely look up like Gravity Falls like list, like episode list.
Yeah.
Again, I'm here with the Book of Bill. I'm just like reading part of it.
I also
there's a Tri-Angels collection on here. That's so funny.
At one point, I was listening to a podcast that kind of went over all of the Gravity Falls episodes, but the podcast didn't actually get to every single episode, so that didn't help. because it was mainly season 1, and I kind of skipped some episodes because I didn't like them. For example, the merman one, Ramondo or whatever his name was. Didn't care for him.
Ramondo. I'm trying to find like just a list with like an image from it.
But
then I can like have it.
I remember the episode where Mabel gets the pig. What was the pig's name?
Waddles.
Waddles, yes.
There you go.
Because
Are you a witch?
That was the episode.
Ooh, Journal 3 missing pages?
That was the episode.
They went back in time.
Where Dipper kept going back in time
to try and get Wendy. Yeah. The exasperated sigh. I will say, of any show that is trying to insinuate an age gap relationship, this one definitely went about it in a much more appropriate way, where it was a very one-sided thing. That Dipper, as soon as he's in like an inverse of the situation, realizes that it's gross.
Yeah.
Because he comes 100%. Across young Wendy at one point, and she thinks he's cute, and he's like, oh, that's really gross, actually.
Yeah, like, oh, is this how she feels?
Like,
oh, wait, this is how Wendy feels. Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, like, ooh, that's not okay. Which I will say, some shows see an age gap relationship, and they go, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Like,
I'm angry, and I have a reason to be angry, and anyone who knows the show I'm talking about is angry too if they've seen the final season.
Which one? Are you talking about Voltron?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't
Different
know what show you're talking about.
Different show. The Umbrella Academy. I don't know if any of you have watched it.
I haven't watched it. I have not.
It was a really good show for the first 2 seasons. Third season was okay. And then I don't even think a human being wrote the 4th season, because they just destroyed like everything that made the characters the characters. It was like, oh, you're so loyal to your family. Yeah, no, you're not anymore. Sorry. Yeah, you don't care about your family at all, actually, in the final season, because why not? That makes sense for your character, right?
Yeah.
That might be one of the few shows that I could actually go on a rant about, because I'm so upset about it.
Others?
Yeah.
Because some shows know how to do endings. Gravity Falls knows how to do endings.
Amazing. It was an amazing ending. I loved Weirdmageddon. It was so cool.
Yes. I saw that when I saw that for the first time. I was like, oh my god, anime. Happy.
Yeah. So I started watching it way after the show's like prime and everything, when it was like airing and all of that. But it was still decently popular. It wasn't like Sorry, my mom came in.
I didn't say anything because I was like, did my Wi-Fi just cut out again?
No. My mom came into the room and she knocked on the door and I didn't have time to say anything. My bad.
Don't worry, I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
9 minutes in, awkward silence.
But so I started watching it way after its actual prime, after it had finished airing and all of that stuff. But it still had like a fandom around it. But I also knew like a couple things here and there, because like I did watch a lot of the first like season, maybe second 2 seasons, a lot, like a good chunk of them, because I watched all the way. I remember seeing, I watched the first episode of the second season, because it's karaoke.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was talking about that I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I remember the
That
one
was
with
the
the rug that made them switch bodies, though. I do remember that.
Oh, I just watched that episode the other day.
And the wax museum.
Yeah.
I also just watched that one as well.
Yeah. But yeah, like the zombie one, legitimately, I stopped watching the show because that one freaked me out for so much. I don't even understand why it freaked me out that much. Because like, yeah, I understand zombies don't actually exist. But also at the same time I was a child and I don't understand what about that episode specifically freaked me out. I'm good. I have no idea.
I will say my only complaint about Gravity Falls, because I think it is a great animated series. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It is
characters
amazing.
are well done. They pretty much all
Mm-hmm.
evolve throughout the show and become better
Mm-hmm.
people. My one
Mm-hmm.
complaint is I wish that it wasn't through Disney because I feel like it could have had so many more little jokes.
Oh yeah, I can.
And the sheriff
100%.
and the deputy could have been more explicitly together
Explicit.
until, because
Yeah.
that was not a thing until the finale.
Yeah.
Because it was
One
Disney.
thing. One thing I feel like would have been really funny. Because okay, who do you think if they were allowed, if the show had allowed them to curse, who do you think would have used it in the best way possible? Which character?
I would say Stan would use it the most.
Yeah.
Stan would use it the most. He'd be like, "You fucking kids," or
But I
something.
think
I don't
Wendy
know.
would.
Yeah.
I feel like Wendy's would be out of the most out of pocket ones.
I
Yeah.
am gonna go in a strange direction, and not Maple, but Maple's friends. Like, what
Oh
were
yeah.
Candy and what was the other one?
Grenda.
Brenda? I think.
Yeah, Grenda.
I think it would be
What was
funny
the
if
other one's
Mabel
name?
or one of her friends, Candy. Candy was the other one.
Candy. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I feel like if Candy cursed, it would have just been such a quiet curse and such a nonchalant thing,
yeah.
but it would shock everyone else. And then with Grenda, I feel like it would have been a similar thing, but less of everyone else being shocked, but also her screaming it.
Yeah. I also think it would be funny for Seuss to curse.
Uh,
I
he
think
would
that
say
would be a
it in the
fun
most
one.
polite way, though. He
Yeah.
would curse in the most polite way. He'd be like, "Oh fuck, I'm so sorry."
The episode where he meets his girlfriend. I think Melody is her name.
Yeah, and he has that
The real girl episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
the fucking girl in the computer. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
remember
It was
the
like a
episode
dating
stuff.
simulator. Yes, her.
Yeah, Tiffany. Yeah.
I think that would be a funny episode for Seuss to curse in.
Mhm.
Just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, I feel like that would be a great spot if each episode was allowed one curse. I feel like that would be a perfect spot for it.
Like, I'm not saying that I wish Disney didn't make it for the purpose of, oh, I wish it wasn't a kid's show. I'm fine with it being a kid's show because it's a kid's show where they do just enough that it's like, okay, yeah, someone older can watch it and perfectly fine, enjoy it and get some of the little, innuendos that get made. It's just
100%.
the way that Disney censored stuff. I know the creator Alex Hirsch said that there was a lot of stuff that he wanted to do with the show that he just couldn't because of it being through Disney, like a little bit more gory stuff, some more spooky stuff. But I think it was a really fun show.
It was amazing. Like, it doesn't need anything else to it, really. It just good.
I think it's a show that genuinely anybody could enjoy.
Yeah.
Regardless
Yeah.
of what you were interested in as a kid, I think it was a show that, like, any kid would have been able to sit down and enjoy. And anyone of
Yeah,
any age could just sit down and enjoy it.
Oh.
Because most kids are weirdos. Most
Yeah.
kids are weirdos, and they'll at least relate to one of the characters in the show. And even if like they don't relate to the character until the end, like with Pacifica, she's a very interesting character because she's kind of forced into being this mean-spirited kid by her family. She was raised that way, and she was raised to treat anyone who isn't of their social class with disdain and just not treat them right.
Yes, like a
And
good
not
redemptive episode for her is when, like, her mansion is haunted and she has Dipper come to help, and she realizes that just because he's a different social class doesn't mean he's a lesser being.
Yes. That
I've
was
been
a great episode.
I'm literally on the website and I just been typing words in. And I have a file now.
Oh.
It downloaded.
Oh. I guess there's gonna blue screen now, guys.
No, it's actually like silly art of Bill.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a really chill show, and you know, I will say it very well captures like actual sibling energy.
Yeah, because they fight all of the time, but
They're
always
almost always fighting, but it's so clear how much they love each other and that they would do stuff for each other.
Yeah.
Which is the most realistic sibling dynamic ever.
Yeah. Their relationship, I envy. Because me and my brother, we were never close and stuff like that. So, I envy their relationship.
But, like, it's like the way I am with my siblings. Is like, we argue all the time. But if anyone messed with those kids, like, I'm coming for them.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Yeah. So, like, it's a very, very good dynamic. I will say, I didn't appreciate the one episode that they did kind of try and push the romance between Candy and Dipper. They were, like, on a road trip. Because it's just, like...
Yeah.
First of all, they're, like, kids. Yeah, they're, like, going into, what, middle school?
They're about to be in high school,
to be in high school, yeah. Technically a teen.
Yeah, they're gonna be in high school. Yeah, they're about to be in high
12.
School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like, but like they had no chemistry together at all.
I didn't really understand that. Like, they never really hung out, and it felt like they were kind of pushing them together because they're both nerds.
But and it was only that one episode because they kind of backtracked on it and never touched on it again. And then it kind of felt like they were going towards the Pacifica and Dipper route, which
I don't know. It with the relationship stuff, it felt very wish-washy sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like shows just create relationships to create relationships where it's like there really isn't enough chemistry between the characters to do this. Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. And there's like there's another show that we'll probably talk about another time that I've also seen that has a lot of issues. But with Gravity Falls, I don't think they were like intentionally trying to like do anything like that. I think
no, because they never like fully pursued it. It was kind of just more so along the line of kids and their crushes.
One-off.
Yeah,
a one-off. Yeah. Because I know there's a lot of shows that can fall into the rabbit hole and the trap of just catering to their audience rather than catering to the story. Gravity Falls does not fall into this. Luckily.
Umbrella Academy does.
Another show does as well. Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
Pain.
We will not be getting into that today because I have a lot of thoughts.
Guys, if you ever want my Umbrella Academy rant, just say it. I'll give it. I'm not happy, guys.
since neither of us have watched it, what we can probably do is we can watch it. Me or Augusto, we can watch it, and then we can see if there's another person who wants to come on for
Yeah,
that.
at least the first. Have you seen the finale, the final season?
I've seen the entire thing.
Oh.
Hey, Gusto, yeah. How do you feel about that one
Okay.
relationship of season 4?
All right, let's put this on.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even mind the actual ending of the show. It's just that part.
Yeah. God, it's
yeah,
just
we'll
like...
add that one to the wheel because I have some feelings
yeah,
I need to get out.
I already did. Yeah, but overall, I just feel like Gravity Falls does a really good job on a lot of the things that they try to accomplish. The only things that I feel like I wish we had was I wish we had more of it.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's a satisfying conclusion, I really just wish we had more of it. We had another season, or even we had we just had easily accessible that you don't have to go out and find stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it fell into that hole of, okay, we've made the finale, season 2's over. If we wanted to do any sort of continuation, it makes it much harder, which is why, yeah, there's the whole websites with all these teaser things. The book, but it's all kind of separate from the show. It's harder to find that stuff.
Yeah. I don't really have the money to go and buy the books, go and buy all the stuff. As much as I'd love to have it, I would love to. I'm fully honestly, I would love to have it because it's I love the show. But I don't have the money for that, and it's a thing of I wish there was more stuff that I didn't have to go and buy for it. And I understand that's how shows make their money and everything, but I also wish that they had more stuff for the people who can't.
Also, since Gravity Falls is kind of up and trending again now with the book and all of that, I will say it's kind of funny to see people on social media start calling the fandom cringy and being wow, I saw something about people saying oh, don't make your cringy cosplays, and it's you do know how alive and thriving that fandom was when the show was new, right? That was an active part of the fandom. They didn't just appear.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like really the only issues with Gravity Falls is the fandom sometimes, because there's the toxic part of it. But most of the people, because there's people who watched the show and enjoyed the show and were technically part of the fandom, who saw the rest of the fandom as stupid and cringy, and they were the loudest voice. They could be the loudest voices.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I'd say it was a pretty relatively chill fandom. As opposed to other fandoms, for example, Voltron.
God.
God, because there wasn't that much shipping between the characters.
Because
which is nice.
Half the cast was family.
Or underage.
Yeah, it was family or underage, so there was really not much to do for shipping.
And
and a lot of that kind of pushed it to the wayside, because it's that wasn't an important, a huge part of the show. It's not a huge part of the fandom because half the cast you can't ship with people.
The whole primary cast is related or close to the family.
Yeah,
example.
Wendy's close with the family.
And she's also older than the main cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also younger than the rest of the cast.
Yeah. It's I really, as much as I love Gravity Falls, I don't think we're gonna get a long episode out of this.
Probably not. Let's
There's
okay,
not really
wait.
much to talk about.
What was everyone's favorite episode and like why?
Oh.
Like what's the one that is
know.
just in your head? You cannot forget that episode.
Here's the thing, you also have to realize I have memory issues.
I don't know.
Well, you're also rewatching it more so recently, so at least you've seen them
Here's the
recently.
Thing. There's like I say the one I just watched out of all the ones I've recently rewatched from season 1. I'm pretty sure the convenience store one is my favorite one out of season 1. That's it. I haven't rewatched season 2. Oh yeah, another thing. I'm going through the website, right? And one of like Pacifica's dreams is apparently not being able to wash the blood off her hands. I briefly read over that while y'all were talking. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I remember seeing somebody reading that. But
yeah.
So I'm looking through.
Wait, Kev?
So I'm looking through the different episodes.
My favorite episode would also likely be the convenience store episode. I just think it's overall just a really fun and like silly episode as well. Because it's like it's just teenagers being teenagers. And yet these old people get heart attacks. Just seeing teenagers being teenagers. And it was like, oh, and their horrendous music, and it wasn't even like horrendous. It was just casual stuff of just teenagers being teenagers. And then the fact that, you know, it kind of forces Dipper to admit that, okay, maybe he is a little bit too young to be around this group of people. He isn't a teenager. He is a kid. So is Mabel. And then Mabel the whole time is eating expired and banned candy and hallucinating.
Yeah.
Which I saw something that in the book, the dog, the Smile Dip dog she sees is actually like in prison with Bill.
Is in prison?
Like
that is in the book.
At the same level security as Bill. Which is kind of
hilarious. Yeah. That is hilarious.
There's a page in here that's actually mirrored.
Oh.
And I had just to read it, I had to take my phone, take a picture of it, and flip it. Oh, wait, you know something interesting? Sorry. I was gonna say, in the book, there's only one timeline where they're alive that they
they literally only survive one timeline, and I know that page shows like several different ways that they met their ends, pretty much.
Hold on, I can actually get an image of that. Go on.
Yes. So we can talk about that. While you're doing that, my favorite episode, honestly, was probably the Gulf War.
Oh, that one's a fun one.
Because it is the very first glimpse of Pacifica being a better person than she seems like she is. And it sets up the Northwest Mansion mystery, that episode, so well. And I love that because it is just such a small, like at the end of the episode, it's just a small thing of she's
sharing snacks or something, right?
Yeah, she's sharing snacks. She's like, it's just a small act that shows you maybe she's not as bad as she seems.
She's not this stuck-up villain. She's just a misunderstood girl who doesn't know better at this point.
She's just a kid. Like, she doesn't deserve to be, like, reprimanded or anything.
Yeah, like, she's not the villain of the show. Yeah, she starts off as a bit of a mean girl, but it's just because she literally doesn't know better at this point. This is how she was raised. So it's a very good way to, like, humanize her and make her not, you know, she's not a bad person.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm looking at all these because I want to see, if
Can I
we
just
can
say
figure out which
that this
episodes.
scared me. Tiffany was definitely one that scared me. That episode did terrify me a bit.
Which episode?
The one with Tiffany in it.
Zeus's
Oh
cyber
yeah.
girlfriend, yeah. Oh, I
That one
Yeah.
forgot
scared
about
me.
like the cult that was erasing people's minds.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
erased McGucket's mind.
Yeah, like you can see that like they both went and like got stuck there. There's the episode where there's the mystery mansion episode that Dipper dies.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
I see the one that looks like one of Dipper's copies from the copy machine at the bottom right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe.
what's the
That's kind of what it looks
scissors
like.
thing? What are those scissors things? Or like is that like a
I believe what was it? Because I
what
know it's from
episode is that?
I remember seeing a thing on it. Goddamn. I
There's the
think it was
Summerween Dipper.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are the zombies hidden in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the Mabel one right up the front, and then there's a zombie I think right next to them.
We see the
And
Time
there's
There's
a
Dipper too.
goblin.
yeah.
We see
We've Mini Dipper
Mabel
and Mabel.
possessed by Dipper, by Bill.
Where is
Yeah.
that? Oh yeah, just
There's
barely
Just
in the
in the
Ghost
back
back.
Dipper.
corner.
Yeah.
Pixelated Dipper. I can see
What's
that one.
what's the tree Dipper from? Was that from the
That is
mansion
from
one?
the mansion
Yeah.
episode. That's from the mansion episode. The water one, oh, that's from the second episode, I think, right? Where Mabel's covered in water and soaked and everything from the from McGuckin, whatever the
Oh, the
monster
sea
was.
monster. Yeah.
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 And
And I think somebody
then
mentioned that the only different that these two have is what's it called? Waddles the pig.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because
I remember
I
seeing
saw
that
people
theory.
saying that like when Mabel picks up Waddles, she goes, "This changes everything."
Oh
Yep.
my gosh, that is such a small
So that's the
detail.
theory that like having Waddles is what allowed them to survive.
Yeah, and then like obviously there's the word Mageddon turned to stone.
Yeah. We
Yep.
see
What is
Colt Mabel, I believe that's Mabel if she were part of the like
the
unseeing eye
yeah,
cult or whatever it was.
yeah, the
There's the tiny ones.
Mabel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tiny ones up top.
There's
There's
Gnome
gnome
Queen.
Mabel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
First
one of them
episode.
is the one stuck in the whack?
The like goopy thing,
Uh,
right?
I believe
Yeah.
I don't know which would be the one of them would be that one, but I do
think
think that's
actually
from. Is
I
that from
think
like?
that would be Dipper because if you look at it, all of the Mabels have like long sleeves.
Sleeves.
Yeah,
Was
and
it
this one doesn't.
maybe the episode that Dipper and Wendy explore
was-
that facility, maybe?
No,
Not like
it was the
facility. I don't know. It had like the
was-
shapeshifter thing.
possibly. No, that was the one when they discovered dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That one.
It was that one. I
Okay.
knew which episode that was. I just couldn't tell which one of the which one of the twins it was. Which so who is I'm looking at it and I'm trying to like see at the bottom. There's another like bony is that the zombie? Then who's the one that's like right up next to them? Oh my god, I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, look, there's Copy Dipper because it has two on the hat
Yeah.
right under the seat.
Oh yeah. Then who's the melted one?
Maybe the wax museum episode
Wax
is my
Museum,
thought.
Yeah.
I
Oh
can
yeah,
see that.
would make sense. That would make so much sense.
But yeah, what's that like bony hand that you're talking about? I see what one you're talking about.
So I think that's the
Zombies. Maybe that's Dipper's
no.
zombie.
Maybe.
But no, that
I
has
don't
a
know.
yellow sleeve. No, that is
That
Dipper. Yeah.
Yeah. Then what is the one that is like all the green arm that's reaching up to grab Mabel's ankles? What is that one from? Is that also Wax Museum? No, that's
No.
not. It's not skin toned.
Strange. Well, if anyone knows what it is, please do tell.
Yeah, tell us. Let us
Yeah,
If
know
you've
because
I
like
just
analyzed
opened
it
it.
more than
we're
us.
invested now because like this is my first time looking at it properly. I'm
I've
sure it's
seen like a
Tori's first
glimpse
time as
of
well.
it. Yeah, like I've seen it
Yeah,
a little bit on TikTok, but it was mostly people
yeah,
pointing out Mabel
like
possessed by
yeah,
Bill.
yeah,
Because they were
like
like,
there
oh,
was
a
certain.
timeline where she's possessed, which that kind of happened.
Yeah,
When she gives him like the thingy and he
the
breaks
book.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
like
and then
I
there's the
don't.
thing where he
Hmm?
destroyed his own universe.
Yeah.
um,
I still. What's the one with the scissors in the back of Dipper's back
I
in Dipper's back?
Um, let's see.
have no clue.
It's right behind the wax guy.
Yeah, I see that. I
Okay.
just can't remember what episode had any sort of like
I remember, but I'm trying to
scissors.
remember which. Uh,
And there's definitely a bunch of Mabels and Dippers in here that are like, if you can't fully see them, they're not worth. They don't really matter.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think.
yeah.
oh, found it. It's the one
Oh,
where he fights against Gideon in the second episode.
oh,
No, third or fourth.
yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Gideon wouldn't have killed Mabel, so
Well, I know the pixelated
Yeah.
Dipper is from the Street Fighter episode where
yeah,
Dipper
yeah,
fights Robbie.
yeah.
I know that
Yep.
one.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think that's all the ones that I really see right now.
Oh, here's another episode that I enjoyed. Now, like looking
Mhm.
back at, now that I've like, reanalyzed it now that I'm older. The
Mhm.
episode where they find out that the whole Pacifica, like the Northwest family is a fraud.
Oh, that one's
Yeah,
good with the what's it called?
Irrational Treasure, that episode,
Yeah, where
right?
Yeah.
they met like
With
the silly president.
Yeah.
yep.
And it was like all old timey the episode.
Yeah.
Because that episode it shows how both Mabel and Dipper are very smart, just in their own ways.
Yeah.
And Mabel's
Even
not going to
even from
confine
the
to Dipper's way, and
mhm,
it's for the
mhm.
best. She finds out a lot of things by doing things her way.
Yeah, even in the
Yep.
first episode, it shows that she's smart, but in different ways because she she's the reason why they are able to defeat the gnomes.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. So that's another really cute episode. I like that episode too.
Yeah.
That episode
Yeah.
was nice.
I'm trying
I
to
like
think what I
a lot
thought
of
the creepiest episode was. I couldn't tell you.
honestly, the two creepiest episodes, like probably the creepiest one honestly is the mansion episode where because it is just such a freaky episode where like there's points where you can see the walls and it's just the dead animal heads dripping blood down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
Here's the
forgot
thing. This
about
is
that.
just me.
mhm.
This is just me. But the one where McGuckin had the
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 underwater
fake.
cave thing.
Yeah, I am deeply afraid of those. That
Mhm.
episode scared me a shit ton.
I think
The
that one, if
legend
you
of the
have like the fear, it's like thalassophobia, I think it's called, or
Yeah.
something like that. That one would be a very scary episode for stuff like that.
Wait,
yeah.
hold on. There's another episode. Do you know the one where they get like they go? I think it's Wendy, Seuss, Mabel, and Dipper who go to like an under a tree that they find, and there's like
Mhm.
Yes.
The
I don't.
shapeshifter?
Yeah, that was the
The
episode I was talking about. The shape
Yeah, that one
Yeah,
shapeshifter.
scared me.
That's the one where I
dude.
think Dipper confesses his feelings to Wendy and she like turns him down. It was like, hey, I'm a little too old for you.
Yeah, I've seen like like comics of just Dipper like choosing the wrong Wendy, and it is
Oh yeah.
tragic. It is tragic to see those comics just because it's like, oh no, because that was a real possibility. I feel
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really interesting if we saw how other people died in these timelines as well, like Wendy and Seuss and Stan. If we could get like a page or like a thing of how they could have died in some, because like there are genuine times where they could have died, like with the shapeshifter Wendy could have died, or like they all could have died.
Dipper
Yeah.
could have
Like,
got frozen.
yeah,
Um,
like, god.
oh, I really wish that when I was watching the show, it was when like the shows were like I wish I was watching the episodes as they were coming out. Because
Mhm.
an episode that absolutely would have been so great to see when it was freshly out and react to at the same time as everybody else, A Tale of Two
Mhm.
Stands.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
100%.
yes.
That one would have been amazing to watch when like it was when you were watching it for the first time,
Yeah.
and if you watched it when it came out. But because like I stopped watching it again, like on the first episode of season 2 I stopped watching it. So I just like never watched it until I watched the whole series once again and got through the episode that I stopped watching on.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a great episode
Oh
because
yeah.
it's a sad episode about like
Mhm.
the falling out of these brothers
Yeah.
because of the way they were treated by their parents and how their parents had such preferential treatment towards one of
Oh
them
yeah.
versus the other who they could care less about,
Mhm.
and they pretty much just
Mhm.
say you're on your own, you do whatever you do,
Yeah.
we care about your brother, we want your brother to succeed. And how
Oh
that
yeah.
like envy, that just like upset, caused this rift between the brothers to the point where
Yeah.
you accidentally send your twin brother through a portal
Yep.
and
Yikers.
then absorb his identity. Yeah, awkward.
Yeah.
Such a normal thing, you know?
Yeah,
It's a little
casual.
awkward.
Happens to me every day, actually.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, gone through a
Yeah,
lot of
just
twin brothers,
I just
actually.
yeah, yeah, I've gone through a lot of twins as well.
That's why I don't have any now.
Yeah, that's why I'm just the youngest now, guys. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sorry to all the twins that are in the voids.
Good luck.
But
We'll meet again.
one thing that I
One
maybe
day.
uh maybe but one thing that I find really interesting is the D&D episodes in a lot of shows now.
Yes, Voltron had one too.
And She-Ra and Gravity Falls, like a lot of shows
She-Ra
had
had
D&D episodes.
She-Ra had a D&D
Yeah.
episode. I watched
Yes,
She-Ra.
it
I don't
did.
remember that.
So, well, it
Yeah.
wasn't in
Okay.
technicality.
Yeah.
It wasn't framed as a D&D episode. It wasn't said it was a D&D episode, but it was framed like a D&D episode.
Okay.
Like I can look it up later and tell you what episode it was, but
Tell me
it
what
was
episode. I'll rewatch it.
it was the episode that was when they were trying to plan how to act to get past Katra, and Adora was like
Oh,
that
okay.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were
Um
like planning it out and like envisioning the
yeah.
scenarios. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
But
sense.
um a lot of shows have D&D episodes, and I really find that super fascinating because D&D was, I don't think D&D was super popular still. It was like still like cringy-ish area. My internet died.
Yeah, don't worry, you're back.
But like it was still in that like cringy-ish, still starting to get popular area. I feel like that's where it was. So it's really interesting to see how many shows actually have D&D episodes, because I did Star versus the Forces of Evil also have a D&D episode?
I think it did. I know this is off topic, but also My Little Pony had one as well.
Yeah, like a lot of shows had D&D episodes. It's really interesting.
And like there's a big show now that has heavy D&D references. Like it's a big part, and that would be Stranger Things. It's like it's shows are very much popularizing D&D.
Yeah.
And bringing it up a lot more, even if it's not called D&D in these shows. It's usually called something else.
Yeah, like Dungeons and More Dungeons is
Yeah.
what they called it in Gravity Falls. I don't remember
forget what they
in any
called
other
in
shows.
Voltron, but it definitely was not
it was
D&D. It was something
it was
else.
like Flix Plax something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. What I would really like to see is not an additional season of the show, but potentially like a kind of sequel where they're a bit older now. They go back visit because yeah, the Bill stuff is over, and yeah, that was the big bad, but Gravity Falls is still a weird town. There's still weird stuff going on in that town. There's that whole secret society. There's these monsters. Like, these things exist in Gravity Falls, and it's not directly related to Bill. So I would like to see even just a short one season like thing.
Yeah, I'd love to see like them freshly graduating high school and being like, I want to go back to Gravity Falls and just see their friends and everything. Because like we know in technicality that they're probably going back each summer, and just to see how everybody's grown and where all the characters are at in their lives. And for all we like, Mabel may have a boyfriend, Mabel may not. Mabel may be not as boy crazy. Dipper may be dating someone. Could be dating Pacifica, because I know that's what a lot of people like and thought would be cool, and what they were leaning towards in the end. Like, I really wish we could see where they're at now, and that's one of the things I like about newer shows is that they have been giving us glimpses into the future, into where they're at when they're older.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like we got to see these characters mature so much in just one summer. So it would be great. It would be really nice to get a look at where they are now in the future. Just a short look. It doesn't even have to be like a long season. It would just be really nice, especially with the increasing popularity now of the show.
Yeah. And it would be such a nice thing. But I feel like the one thing that everyone would that they would run into the risk of is having the characters mature in ways that the fandom doesn't like. Because that's the thing. People like these characters, first of all, they would have changed so much by the time we see them. There's a good chance that they're not the same characters, because they're adults at this point. If we were to see it, I would love to see, because like, you imagine yourself at 12.
That is a completely different child.
Yeah, that is a completely different
That
person.
is not me.
Yeah, that child is not me. Because like, you've matured, you've grown, and it's the same thing for these characters. So I can completely understand if they don't do that.
12-year-old me was playing with my littlest pet shops.
But I think it would be a really interesting thing to do if they wanted to. They could just it's a fascinating thing that they could do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think
Maybe.
if they were to make any sort of continuation on the show, they will run the risk because it is very hard to please everybody with an ending to a show. Especially
Yeah, that's true.
nowadays, shows are very much struggling to even satisfy any of their audience with endings. Umbrella Academy. Anyways. So
There's
like
some shows that have been pretty good.
I say like Gravity Falls. The ending that they gave in season 2 was a good ending. Like, you know, they defeat the
Yeah.
big villain. They kind of know each other better. They have a better understanding of each other, the twins. They understand their uncles better, and it's like everyone's a lot closer at the ending, and it's a satisfying ending. Yeah, they're going back
Yeah.
home, but they have other summers to visit.
Yeah.
They actually got character development that stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say the same about some shows.
This feels like we're praising. This is a praise Gravity Falls diss Umbrella Academy episode.
It deserves it. It deserves it after that last season. Actually, there was
But-
no 4th season. It ended in season 3.
Oh.
But why are those pictures not loading for me?
I
I don't know. They're also not loading for me.
They're not
Like,
loading
Not the
for
ones
me
sending
either.
not
them.
loading. Why are they not loading? That's so weird. What the fuck? For context,
We'll never know.
For context, Augusto is sending pictures in like the chat that we have. So like where we send things to be like, hey, this is a thing that we should look at, yada yada, and they're not loading. They're just flat out not loading, and it's
And
like
it's Tiffany.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Alright,
The
let me
world
just
knows
also
that
look
that Giffany shouldn't be seen. Why? What the fuck?
It's just Tiffany.
I think the
What?
Giffany episode is funny looking back at now because there were so many like people trying to be like, oh, it's like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like Doki Doki Literature Club. It's like actually this came out before that.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was the blueprint.
Yeah.
I
What's up?
think you should stop sending them because they're just not working.
I think it's funny.
I see the Ouija
Stop.
board,
I went
and
hard in
that's
there,
about it.
Because everybody,
Yeah, the Ouija
remember,
board was
this is
something I wanted to
also-
show.
Mhm. Yeah.
I wanted to show
But I
y'all
also
because I
want to
thought that
remind you,
one of the
other
codes.
people are seeing this chat too,
I
and
know.
they're just getting consistent messages.
They can mute the chat. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Lightheartedly.
Goodness.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah.
Good show. 10 out of 10 show. I approve.
Yeah. I think
More
think this
seasons
is
would have
about a
been
good
great
spot.
too, but
yeah. I think this is a good spot for us to stop for today.
yeah, we gotta roll.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy,
so
Umbrella Academy, Umbrella Academy.
I want to talk.
Oh.
What do you get?
Is it Umbrella Academy?
Special guest all about you.
Oh shit.
So we are gonna have to get somebody for next week.
I gotta keep my
For Monday.
rage about Umbrella Academy in for another week, guys.
Yeah. But
I need
next
to
week
let it
we're gonna have a guest on the episode, and I hope we don't know who that's gonna be, and you guys will find out next week. But with that being said,
Isn't it between 2 people? Because that's the only people you've had so far.
yeah. But we can also do other people. We can do
Okay.
other people.
You
It
could do
doesn't
a
have
brand
to be
new
the two.
person as long as Tori's
We
told
could.
in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
One
with that being said,
new person.
it'll only be one. It'll only be one. With that being said, I've been Ace.
I guess I'm Tori.
Who am I?
Damn it. Secret Society got him.
No! Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys do not get lost in the grove.
Or do fall into the tree. Find a book.
Find a book.
Yeah, go on some adventures, guys.
Go steal a golf
Don't
cart.
be nerds.
All right. Well, goodbye,
Crash it into
guys.
a water.
Bye.